Good morning, everybody. Today we're holding two debates. During the debates there are two groups. One is the proposition, the other is the opposition. Each team contains of 3 people who have the right to speak for 3 minutes. We as jury will lead the debate by holding on the time, which Roseanne will do, and by telling who has the right to speak. Our first debate has the statement, unemployment people have to do some kind of voluntary work to be entitled to unemployment benefits. We would like to invite the first speaker of the proposition.
Okay, welcome everybody. Our point of view is unemployment benefits should be available to anyone, anywhere, but the people have to earn it. You shouldn't just give it out to anyone who is unemployed. Like, people should do volunteer work to earn the money they receive. So, what is unemployment exactly? Unemployment means that at the moment you don't have a job. For whatever reason you've been let go, and at the moment you're actively looking for a job. So, when can you consider yourself unemployed? Well, you have to answer yes to the following 3 questions. While you were working, did money come out of your paycheck to pay for unemployment? That's the first criteria. The second one is, when you lost your job, was it because you got fired or that you got laid off? So there is a big difference there, which is also very important. And the last criteria is, are you willing and able to work again? So this has to come from within you. You actually have to be able and have the motivation to go back to work. What are we going to talk about? We have some arguments supporting our statement. My team is going to explain them further. I'm going to give you a brief oversight of the arguments we have. First of all, the benefits of doing work, whether it's paid or volunteer work, the physical and mental benefits. Furthermore, the transition. If you have a volunteer job, a position where you do charity work, it helps you to transition into a paid job more easily. Continuing on, it helps you learn new skills and you get to know new people, so it's a way of networking, getting to know different people, maybe even landing a job that way. It gives you more motivation because you are giving back to society, and you're also avoiding the gaps on your resume. So when you're unemployed, there's nothing to put on your resume, and now you can sort of fill it in and show your future employee that you've been doing something useful. That's it. I'm gonna give the word to
Well, we'd like to take the first speaker. Now you can have a moment to discuss one more. If everybody is done, we would like to invite the first speaker of the opposition.
Thank you. Welcome everybody. Thank you for being here. I will begin with the introduction of our side of the debate. Before we begin, I want to let you know that during the debate, with the summary at last, we don't want to answer any questions, so we would like to answer them during the arguments. Then I will begin with our introduction. There are a lot of people who are recently unemployed. Some of them cannot do anything about that. There are people who are in incapacity and maybe want to work but just can't because they're injured or things like that. There are also people who just can't find a job because of the economical crisis, because of their fired, things like that. These issues provide a lot of different opinions. This is why we discuss the topic about unemployed people who doesn't do some kind of voluntary work. The statement of this debate is unemployed people have to do some kind of voluntary work to be entitled to unemployed benefits. So we can say that people who doesn't work has to do something else than just sitting home, because most of the people don't like the fact that they have to work and people who has the benefit doesn't. So we can say that people, we are against the statement, and we will give you arguments about why we think the statement is not good. Is not a good way when you're before the arguments. First argument is choices. We think that you have to make the choice by yourself. My colleague will discuss that later with you. Furthermore, the argument is volunteering. We want to explain what are the benefits and things like that with voluntary work. And the last argument is the economical problems. Because of the economical problems, we think it's not good that people will work voluntarily, because we think that it's better that they find a job. On the basis of these arguments, we want to convince all of you of the fact that unemployed people do not have to work as volunteer when they don't want to. Thank you.
If you are done, we would like to invite the second speaker of the proposition.
Thank you. After the introduction of my colleague Fettah, I'm going to elaborate our arguments more clearly. First of all, the beneficial argument, the fact that by doing voluntary work, unemployed people can benefit from this, both physically and mentally, because unemployed people often have the tendency to feel like they're not contributing to society enough. Voluntary work is a self-validating experience which unemployed people can benefit from during their period of unemployment. Furthermore, volunteer work can keep unemployed people in a certain daily routine, so that if they stay in that routine, it will be much easier for them to get to work again. Also, it's much more appealing for a future employee to have an employee who has continued to be working even though it wasn't a paid job. He has continued to stay in a certain routine, which is much more appealing for an employee. Furthermore, the new skills of the third argument, they can learn new skills during voluntary work while receiving welfare payments. So this is also an investment they make in themselves. So once they would be sitting at home, they wouldn't learn anything new, and they wouldn't. If they learn new skills like this, they might increase the chance of them getting a job because of the new skills that they got. Fourth argument, they can make new contacts. whilst volunteering, unemployed people can make new contacts, which they wouldn't when they would be sitting at home, just like adapting to new skills. To new contacts, a new paid job can be found, because we all know how it works nowadays. Networking is everything. So that's also a good argument. It can also motivate to get a paid job, because when people continue to work and stay in a certain routine but they don't get paid for the job, they might as well search for a job in which they can provide themselves with more money. So that is also a point of motivation for them. Second to last, it also avoids gaps on their resume, because everyone who is unemployed wants to get a job. At least that's what we're thinking right now with these arguments. Sorry.
I want to ask you a question. Yes?
You have the floor.
Thank you. I want to know of your first argument. If people are interested, how can they do volunteer work if they can't work at a normal job?
Okay, you may sit down. Right, so to clarify your question, you're asking when people don't have a physical incapacity so they can get a normal job. And that's what you meant, right?
Yes.
Okay. Well, basically, you're talking about a different thing here. You're talking about people who can't get a job. I'm sorry.
Round it up.
Yeah. Okay, I'll round it up. My colleague, we already discussed this just now. My colleague will come back to this question. Last, to sum it up, if you get money from the government, you should do something in return as a motivation. So by doing voluntary work, people can actually do that. So those were the arguments I elaborated.